All right, there's this whole big hubbub coming up right now. TriMet put out a press release, which you can see on my Twitter account here. Where is it? Yeah, here it is. The special meeting of the TriMet Board of Directors called for Wednesday is canceled. The president and vice president of the board have asked for more time to connect with public stakeholders and review the general manager job description in light of that input being considering the resolution to approve it. Right on the face of it, it doesn't make any sense. I mean, what are they going to do? Change the general manager job description? It's been the same fucking job description since they made it a general manager. As indicated previously, the board will conduct an international search, at which they've said they were going to do for the last three, and the last three have all been insiders. Oh, no. Not again. Mike, I can't talk to you. Now, hold on a minute. Crying out loud. Mike, I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of something.
Oh,
All right. Man, it fucking drives me crazy. All right. Now, I'm like, this is the most ridiculous bullshit I've ever heard. But then, one of our Twitter pals sent over this. Dozens of advocacy groups and local elected officials urge caution. Many voices urge the transit agency move judiciously when replacing its outgoing leader. Okay, Tom is getting a lot of advice about how to replace its general manager. Kelsey, who served as TriMet's chief operating officer from November 2015 until he replaced McFarland in 2018, will return to British Columbia, as is smart by him. Why hang around? Get out of here and go back to relative paradise of Canada. Upon his departure in March, Kelsey will leave behind an agency that's been battered by COVID and saw voters soundly defeat a multi-billion-dollar transportation. That had nothing to do with him, that lost, by the way. Okay, you can't blame him for that one. I mean, people are onto TriMet's scam. So, and plus, TriMet has really not done anything. Well, we'll continue the article here. Even before COVID, TriMet faced declining right. Wait a minute. Even before COVID, what do you mean by that? What are you talking about? They were expanding. The greatest expansion in the history of TriMet. Remember that? Remember that fucking line? The greatest expansion in the history of the world was going on before the COVID. And now this article says TriMet ridership has been flat for a long time, man. The light rail basically destroyed the ridership. But it filled up a lot of pockets and created a lot of development opportunities, and that was the point of it. What happened? The riders are, who cares? It's like government doesn't give a fuck about what the citizens need or do. We see that play out everywhere. We just saw it play out with the 600. Here's your 600, you fucking peons. We're gonna take $1 trillion and we'll give you 600. And that's how it goes in the land of the free, where we have freedom. All right. Dozen elected officials, led by Ted Tear Gas Wheeler. These are all fucking horrible people, by the way. Deborah Kafori and Lynn Peterson, those people are all bad. All of them. They're the Portland versions of Trump, as far as I'm concerned. The elected officials, like you actually have an actual choice, which you don't, asked the board to spend the upfront time in researching best practices to create an open and transparent hiring process for the next general manager of TriMet. Adding that they hope the board will meaningfully involve city leaders and community organizations, particularly from the region's small and mid-sized. Okay, here's your answer, you dumbasses, You have a committee of local people who are in on the goddamn hiring. Okay? The letter is not too subtle critique of the agency's last two. It was actually the last three, but the last two, which were the worst, which saw TRIMET elevate existing agency insiders, McFarland in 2010 and Kelsey in 2017. Although both men were steeped in agency operations, neither brought much political experience to the work, and in long tradition were white men. Yeah, and Portland is the whitest city in America, by the way. So is that really an issue? If you have somebody competent, it doesn't matter if you're black if you're still gonna follow the neoliberal agenda. Okay, on December 23rd, a letter. Let's see this. To Bruce Warner, we write today. Okay. Boy, that's too long to read here. That's interesting, though. Okay, let's go back to the article. A letter from 2008 advocacy groups, many of them representing people of color, and asked the board not to shut them out of the hiring report, as they say happened with Kelsey. That's right. They completely shut him out. Hold on, my brother is driving me crazy today. They completely, that was a big fraud, the last one. The advocates say TRIMET has long ignored the concerns of people. That's right. The community has spoken loudly and for many years about the need of improvements such as bus shelters, increased bus frequency, as well as expansion of bus service. Correct. And what have they gotten? Fucking light rail and a referendum for light rail, which failed because of this. That's not what the community wants. And when they came up with some bullshit excuse. What was it? I forgot. I mean, they worded it as well as possible. It was just going to be a payroll tax on the largest employers. But that shit trickles down. Okay, you know that. We have called for a more humane approach to public safety. Yeah. Where's today's tweet of the day? Let me see. Hold on. Well, I got you on the phone here. There's some interesting stuff that comes down here. All right. Here's the calls. Wait. There's a tweet. There's a tweet of the day here. Just hold on. Give me a minute. Let me find it. Oh, here it is. Today's tweet of the day. TRIMET tried kicking a black woman off the max today for not paying fare. When we offered to pay her fare, the assholes wouldn't let us. It took three of us making a scene and one person literally putting their ticket in her hand and getting off before TRIMET left her alone. Reminder, the TRIMET has $806,000 set aside to pay for 12 fare inspectors, plus another $78,000 for a fare enforcement administrator. Good job. That's enough to cover the cost of 353,000 free adult rides. Okay, good for you. So, this is why, that's right there is why TRIMET lost the tax referendum. Because we're sick of this shit. Up in Seattle, they've really done a good job with this fare stuff. But here in Portland, it's like they're so regressive. It's just unbelievable. Okay, where were we? We must ensure the general manager will listen. See, this is the problem. And incorporate we must ensure the next this is the problem with transit right here. Who the fuck is this guy, the next general manager he's not elected. I mean, he should be elected. Okay. If he's the one running everything, why isn't he elected? Why isn't the board elected? Why isn't there like a committee of citizens who get to sit in on the recruitment process? That's what needs to happen. And they end the article with this nonsense here. TRIMET board noted that under Kelsey's leadership, the agency had made significant progress on growing transit. That's gone. Okay, you just cut 20%. Improving the customer service. Where'd you come up with that one? Bullshit. Decriminalizing fare enforcement. That's nothing to do with Kelsey. That was part of the tax grab legislation. House Bill 2017. Pursuing a more equitable security resource. I don't know what the hell that's supposed to mean. and champion diversity and equity. Well, he did get more black faces in there, I guess, and women and all that, but that was in regards to a lawsuit. Anyway, let me just put it to you this way. I'm very skeptical about any of this actually making any actual difference. If there's no citizen committee to also go over, I mean, they hired a consultant. They're going to hire two connects, the same people they hired last time, which was two. What are they called? Two. I forgot, but I can't remember. My mind is not what it used to be. Two LM connects or something. There's some place that all these fucking places do hire the same fucking place. It's a company made up of transit executives. Oh, while I'm here, let's talk about this for a minute. As we near the end of 2020, many people still have questions about our workplace policies. COVID-19 infections are high and vaccines will take time. As you know, the COVID paid sick leave and school closure leave created by the first Coronavirus Response Act are set to expire this month. Based on our initial review of the newly passed COVID release, it does not appear the federal government has extended the expiration date or created any new or different leave. Although it appears the federal government has not taken any action with respect to COVID leave, TRIMET intends to allow employees to keep using their unexhausted paid leave established. Okay, the problem with this is that there's people have run out of sick leave. And I can give you an actual example where a person has had to go into quarantine twice because they were exposed to somebody who had it. And so they've run out of sick leave because of this. It's nothing to do with them. It's because you're required to be out of this workplace for 2 weeks if you're in contact with somebody with COVID. Okay, and if you run out of your sick leave, you're fucked. All right, what are you going to do then, huh? Employees seeking school will be able to use Oregon family leave. Time also will extend, including unpaid leave. Well, that doesn't do any good for the people that need the paycheck, and I know several examples that have fallen into this where they've been forced into quarantine because they knew they were around somebody who had COVID, and so they've exhausted their sick leave, and now they have no pay, and they got like kids. Okay, this doesn't work. All the money that TriMet has, if TriMet is forcing an employee to be off on leave, you need to pay that fucking employee, not out of their fucking sick bank either. Okay. Okay, end of rant.